How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at my Dream AR15 build. This is the Zeus build. I've done a video on this prior, but as you can tell, things have changed. It's a different color and it's got some new parts on it. So I'm going to give you guys a quick updated video on my Dream AR15 build. Just getting over a cold, so if I sound weird, that's why. But let's go ahead and start at the back here. This is a KK Shockwave brace. I really like these braces. They're not super expensive compared to most braces, and they do the job pretty well. The only thing I would probably change in this whole build, if I was going to, would upgrade this to an SB Tactical SBA3 brace, but that came after this brace was already put on and sent to the Cerakote and whatnot, because this was a whole long process. So if I was going to change anything, I would probably change that, but it's not big of enough a difference for me to get the new brace, send it off to get Cerakote, get it back, and put it on. For right now, the KK brace does really well. One of the biggest differences is right here on the back. I've got a Law Tactical folding stock adapter. I had a Sylvan Arms one. I replaced it with this because this is a much better version. I've ran both of them for quite a while, and these Law Tactical ones are the real deal. These things are pretty awesome. So I went ahead and replaced that. And here I've got a Spikes Tactical. I believe it's a T2 buffer system in there. I really don't notice much different with the buffer system. I had one of those already in a previous build. It was actually my wife's gun, so I went ahead and just chucked it in this to see if there was a huge difference. I really don't notice much of a difference. Then let's go down here to the middle of the gun. Now for this midsection, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. So we got the Magpul K2 grip. Most grips have an angle kind of like this. The K2 is more up and down. I really like that because it seems a little more natural position. It seems a little bit easier to grip my firearm. That's a preference thing, so it all depends what you guys like, but I really like these K2 grips. So next we've got this MPC trigger from Velocity Triggers. If you guys follow my channel at all, you know these are one of my favorite triggers that I run. The normal trigger comes straight down from here, and your finger's a little bit curled, but with these it's pushed forward, so your finger seems a little bit more of a natural position, and to me it's a lot easier to shoot. That is also a 4-pound trigger. I've got an ambidextrous safety switch. Not really sure where I got this one from. It was in my parts kit. I believe I won that in a contest, but I thought it was nice, so I threw it on this build. Got us an Anderson lower. There's a lot of back and forth about Anderson. I run a lot of their lowers. Haven't had any issues. Until I do run into issues, I'm going to continue to run them because they're pretty cheap. I think they're like 40 bucks a piece, so you can save a lot of money on lowers. And in my experience, and this is just my experience, I haven't had any issues with them. So until I do, like I said, I'm going to continue to run them. So let's go up to bolt carrier. I'm going to switch the gun around here, knock my camera over. My bolt carrier, I'm running an Iron City Rifle Works bolt carrier. This has been a nice bolt carrier. At first, it had some issues running. I think there was a little bit of a break-in period. Once I got up there to about 100 rounds, it broke in, and I haven't had a problem with it since, and it's been really nice. As you can tell, it's really smooth, and it wipes off. It's really dirty because I did a ton of shooting this weekend and have not cleaned off. I just put a rag on it. But that's what's really nice about this bolt carrier. As you can see, I literally just took this rag and wiped it off, and there you go. It takes all that buildup off. So the finish on this is really nice. But I'm liking these bolt carriers. I'm going to do a review on these soon. Just finishing up some testing. I've got 2 of them. But that's the bolt carrier that is on this one. So then we've got up top here, this is a Raptor ambidextrous charging handle. That's my lube. It's not some weird thing coming on my gun or something wrong with the charging handle. But these ambidextrous charging handles from Radian are really nice. I've got 2 of them, and I've been a big fan of them so far. They're a little bit on the expensive side, but I still like them. I think they're pretty worth it. I found this one on a blemish, which was, apparently they don't have those very often, but I found one, and I think I got it for $60. So that was a pretty good deal, and I think it's well worth these. Then the rear sight here is a Magpul flip-up sight. Magpul, they're simple, and they're pretty inexpensive, so I picked one of those up and chucked it on there. For my optic, I have the DI Optical FC1. This has been a good optic for me. This is my favorite optic that DI Optical makes, and it's pretty small, compact. It's very rugged. I haven't been super nice to this gun, and this thing keeps ticking. Haven't had to replace the batteries yet, which is nice, and has some night vision capabilities. So it's been a good optic. I'm going to be doing a review video on this one as well. I've got a lot of products that need to get reviewed and finished, but that's going to be one that's getting a review for it. But I do like these optics a lot. So now let's move into the front of the gun. For the upper receiver, I went with a Palmetto State Armory upper. Got a couple different other uppers, a couple different other lowers. I like their stuff, and it's worked well for me so far. So I went with this one. It's a 10.5-inch barrel. Eventually, I'm going to take that barrel and replace it. I'll probably upgrade it with something a little bit nicer. But the handguard I like. It's pretty simple and lightweight. So let's go down here to your rail. You got a Cloud Defensive LCS, these light control setups. If you guys know my channel at all, you know I really like these. They work really well, and they keep your tape switch in that same location, and it doesn't move. So that's attached to my Streamlight ProTech, and that's the 1000 lumen. Weapon components, Thorntail. This is just a little angled mount that makes your flashlight a little bit more high and tight to your rail. I really like it because it brings everything a little bit closer, and to me, I think it looks a lot cleaner. Before, normally your flashlight would be here on the side, it would stick out quite far, and it was almost obnoxious, especially since you had that tightening screw here, and when your hand's here, it would rub against that, and it was kind of uncomfortable. So this just brought your flashlight in a nicer position. Plus, it kind of keeps it away from your compensator a little bit. It still gets effects of it, but not quite as bad. Being right beside it, it's a little bit higher, so it doesn't get gassed so much. For my front sight post is a Daniel Defense front sight post. I don't really run irons very much on this gun, so I really can't comment too much on that, but I think it looks nice and the construction is very durable. Then you have your mag pull foregrip. I don't see these a ton on people's guns, and I'm surprised that I don't more often because I get a lot of questions about this, and I really like this because there's a lot of configurations you can do. You can move these around. You can just use one as a hand stop. You can use just two, depending on what you want. You can spread them out, how big your hands are, how small they are, but I am actually a really big fan of these. You can take this one and switch it over so it's a little bit farther apart, but for me, this works really well. And then for my compensator, I've got a Sylvan Arms comp. I'm probably going to change this eventually, but for right now, it works. So then let's go to my sling. This is an AMRAP sling. I've got a couple of these. They're really simple slings. You can pull this to tighten and pull it this way to loosen, and I mean, it's a sling. There's really nothing fancy about this one. You can get really high-end expensive slings, or you can get really cheap ones. This one's somewhere in the middle because it's got some adjustment points, and it's a pretty durable sling. So I went and got this one, and it works for what I'd use it for. So Cerakote, as you can see, that is the biggest change. This was done by Southwest Precision. I think this is probably the coolest Cerakote that I have on any of my guns. It is my favorite. I get a lot of comments about this one, and I think they did a fantastic job. Really appreciative of them. We had some issues with this build. They took it and fixed everything up for me, and they did such a good job. So I'm really decided to die, but I'm really happy with the outcome of what this looks like and how well they did. So if you guys want your Cerakote done, definitely take a look at them. I also have a discount code if you guys want one. I think it gives you like 10% off, so you guys can get some discount on that. I don't make any money off that. It's just something they gave me to give you guys a little bit of a discount if you want to use it. So there you guys go. There is my dream build. I'm sure it's going to change here in the future. There's always new products coming out. SHOT Show's coming soon, so I'm sure I'll find some stuff there. But for right now, here it is. I'm a really big fan of this whole setup. I'm going to continue to run this and find different things that I like and dislike about it, and I will keep you guys updated. So if you guys want to help support the page, you guys could subscribe here, follow us on Instagram. That helps a ton. We're on Facebook as well. That's just kind of there. Facebook's kind of hard to be on, but if you guys want to support us, do that. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and we really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.